Hey everyone, Armor Gaming here, back with another monster analysis, and today we're going to analyze ROFL. Wow, so internet, many skill, much robot, such strong, really damage, my team, Haley monster, very meme, most hero, Amaz, scarce power. That is ROFL's description for you, and here's his many forms. As you can see, he just has that derp face on the following two forms. Pretty funny monster, pretty funny skill sets as we're gonna see, and this monster is basically just like every meme that's been really popular just combined into one monster. So let's get right into the stats. Power 3322. In terms of just the thunder monsters, that's an okay power. It's not really strong, it's not really weak, it's more like in the middle. His life 26,540. Also, that's just like a really average life. I guess it's actually slightly better, seeing as many attackers tend to have 22k life. So I mean, ROFL is not an attacker, but his life is pretty high considering lots of monsters tend to have that low 22k life. So in that respect, he's good. His speed 3,476. That's actually a really good speed. It's actually the third fastest of all the thunder monsters, and the first of which is Thorder, who isn't that strong. At least he's not strong anymore. He has the fastest thunder speed, and then Zyla is next. However, she's a VIP monster and she's just OP, so I'm not even gonna really mention her. So as far as that, like ROFL is really amazing for having such a high speed like that. Like I said, his element is thunder, therefore his weakness is earth, and his trait is an interesting trait because no one else has this trait. Super attuned, regains 50 stamina points when affected by weak types. So it's not really the best trait to have in the game. Immune to stun, immune to freeze, immune to possessions, those are the really good stats. So this is just, I guess it's cool because it's super attuned, but there's nothing that special about it. Moving on to his default and special skills, we start off with True Story, and there's nothing that special. 25 damage, 13 stamina. I like the name though, True Story. We have Such Skill, which is 30 damage, 13 stamina. Also nothing too special about it. Thug Life, his special attack, Thug Life, deals absurdly heavy special damage to all enemies, and that's 90 on the damage. That's usually it's 80 for, so this is pretty cool, especially since it's an AoE. So that's pretty awesome. If you see this skill, it's just one of the best animations in the game, I think, in my opinion. Super awesome. Scrolling down to skills group 1, we have Oh Yeah, and it's the first introduction to Illuminati confirmed, and I'll talk more about that a little later, but this only gives you a 50% chance to get Illuminati confirmed. And there's nothing too special about that. He also has If I Stun You, also 50% chance to stun, and Puking Rainbows, also a really amazing move as far as the animation goes. Like, I really wish I could keep this move, but it's not really needed considering the 35 damage, 23 stamina. Yeah, it's 0 cooldown, but again, 50% chance to daze. The thing about 50% chance is it rarely hits, so you really don't need anything from skills group 1. But again, if you have like an extra ROFL, Puking Rainbows is just a really cool animation move to use. Scrolling down to skills group 2, we start off with Dat Attack. So I'm gonna go ahead and discuss each of his moves, and then I'll give you what I think are the best moves, because a few people might disagree with what specifically I chose. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go straight into discussing the moves. So Dat Attack deals moderate special damage. As you can see, it's 45 damage, 27 stamina, no cooldown, and it may apply Illuminati confirmed to a target. Illuminati confirmed is one of those skills that we don't see much often, and that's because this is the only monster that can do that. I mean, of course, now recently Social Point updated all the monsters that inflict negative effects, so now it's possible for like White Pandoff to give you Illuminati confirmed, a Master Skill, they can all give you this, but this is the original monster that has it. And Illuminati confirmed, it's a super interesting negative effect. It basically gives a chance 100% to always hit, or it always lands, and then basically when a monster is hit with Illuminati confirmed, from my experience anyways, and according to the description, they always are gonna take the hit. So if you use an AoE, they're gonna get hit, and that's really amazing. So then I can't say 100% what happens if you are blinded and dazed, and if an enemy monster has Illuminati confirmed, if they'll still get hit. I have no idea. It hasn't happened to me. Hopefully someone in the comment section below can answer that. It'd be really interesting to find out. But from my experience, every time I use Illuminati confirmed on an enemy monster, I always hit them with the AoEs. I've never ever missed. He also gives shield block and negative healing. So negative healing is, I think if they try to heal their monster, they end up losing life, because I think when you actually hit Illuminati confirmed, it says like negative 200 healing, but then when you like click on the monster, it says like negative 50, so they actually end up losing life. And also shield block, if a monster has shield, they lose that shield and they can't equip the shield for like 3 turns. So he's really good. It's kind of like, it's a better increased accuracy, because as far as Illuminati confirmed, they're always going to get hit. So I really like the move. I really like that attack. I personally do run it, and it's a weaker form of Falcon Punch, which I'll talk about later. But I really like the move, and I really like the name, that attack. Like, I'm using that attack. It's awesome. But moving on to Trololo. Now this move is really awesome. One of the cool things about ROFL is that he's possibly the only deny monster in the Thunder category. I mean, we also have CYMO with his viral spam attack, but that's like 50% chance to stun, daze, and blind. And like I said, that 50% chance, it rarely hits, and then especially if monsters have like hardened or tough, it like the likelihood of landing isn't that high. So what this move does, and he's like the only monster to originally have it. So basically what this attack does is that the enemy can't attack for 2 turns. So it's kind of like a mega stun in that respect, but you can't attack that monster the first turn. So for example, if you hit him with this move, you can't attack them until they go. After they go, you can finally hit them, but again, they get those 2 turns of being stunned, but the 3rd turn, that enemy has triple damage on them, so they can deal some serious damage on you. That's the bad thing about it. The good thing is though, if you are a smart player and you pair up ROFL with someone who has possession, and say you use this move on someone and you immobilize them for 2 turns, and then you possess them on the 3rd turn, and then you hit their own teammate or themselves, they're most likely going to knock themselves out. So it's a really good combo move to do with possession. So I really recommend this move. I really do think this is a mandatory move to run. And like I said, I think ROFL is like one of the, possibly the only monster that can truly be used to deny. And that's because of this skill, and it's because of his next skill, Amaze Effects. But before I move on to Amaze Effects, the other great thing is that it gives Trolled. And like I said, it's basically a mega stun. But so if a monster is immune to stun, Trolled will work. If a monster is immune to mega stun, which there's no such thing yet, Trolled will still work. So it's super amazing. Definitely must run. The next move he has, which is really good, is Amaze Effects. And I'm gonna have to scroll down for this. Look at all those effects. So what this skill does is it deals low special damage, but that's not the interesting part. It applies 2 random negative effects to all enemies. 2 random negative effects. So before there used to be less negative effects, but now we have a lot. Unfortunately, glitched for some reason counts as negative effect. That's actually a positive effect where the monster gets negative or gets triple damage. So that's not good if that lands, but other than that, we have a nice selection to choose from. Unfortunately, they also introduced Dr. Hazard's toxin moves, which they're slightly helpful, slightly not helpful. So there's that. But before, it used to be like they could get possessed, frozen, stunned, rebooted. Like, it was so awesome before. Now it's still good. So Master Skill made this really popular, having those 2 negative effects. I think Scar, the Outcast, has one. White Pandov has a move like this. So it's awesome. It's super awesome. And this is one of the reasons why he can be a good deny monster. You know, you can use that on the first turn. Hopefully they lose all their stamina, they get stunned, they get frozen. There's so many possibilities with 2 negative effects. Really good move. You definitely should run those. So I personally run all of Skills Group 2. However, all you really need from Skills Group 2 are Amaze Effects and Trololo. But moving on to Skills Group 3, we have Falcon Punch. Falcon Punch, 60 damage. That's probably his highest attack. 33 stamina, that's a little high. 2 turn cooldown, also pretty high. And it's basically an upgraded form of that attack. Illuminati confirmed, shield block, that's exactly what it does. So I would say it's up to you whether you want this skill or not. I personally do run Falcon Punch, so I run Falcon Punch, that attack, Trololo, and Amaze Effects. And the reason I run that attack and Falcon Punch is because I personally like the fact, like, I want to capitalize on the fun feature of ROFL. Oh man, that name. Okay, of ROFL, and I want to use Illuminati confirmed. That's like his highlight. I love doing that skill. I love showing the little Illuminati thing when I use it. It's cool that 100% chance to hit the enemy. It's awesome. So that's why I use them. However, a move you probably could use instead of that attack, since the 0 cooldown, you don't really need it with this monster. You know, the most of the time when we want 0 cooldown, it's when we have an attacker and we're worried about facing a Timerion and take him out in 1 hit. But you don't really need that with this monster. Like I said, he's like a deny monster. Specifically, I think he's more of a secondary deny monster. I'll talk more about that later. So a lot of people would probably prefer to run Laser Cats, and this is his AoE burning skill. 35 damage, of course it gives burning. Now, the reason, and the second reason I didn't choose this skill, however it's totally doable to choose this skill, is because the way I imagine a gameplay going, like in Team Wars or PvP or whatever, but I'm just gonna talk about Team Wars. You know, you have another legendary monster, so I imagine if I have ROFL on my team, I'm gonna probably use Trololo on the main like enemy that I'm scared of. So whoever, let's say it's an enemy Voltic, I'm gonna try to hit him with Trololo and negate him for 2 turns. I don't want him to hit me. And then the following turn, I'm probably gonna use Amaz effects. So that's already 2 turns that have passed. So by the time it's my 3rd turn, I highly doubt I'm gonna need an AoE. I really like highly doubt it. And the reason for that is because most monsters don't last 3 turns, at least when you're attacking them. They'll usually die on the 1st turn if you have a really strong attacker, or they'll die on the 2nd turn. So definitely by the 3rd turn, I doubt all 3 enemy monsters on the opponent's side will still be alive. So for that reason, I picked Falcon Punch. You know, I love the 60 damage, and I picked that attack just because I do like that 0 cooldown, honestly. Even if I don't need it for anti-Timeron, I like it, and I like the 45 damage, that single hit. I really don't think I need the AoE burn, but that's just my opinion. However, lots of you might want to do Amaz effects and then move on to Laser Cats, which is totally doable, totally a fine option. And last, he has Very Speed, deals heavy special damage, it's 50, it may slow the target. Now I really love slow, I really love haste, however the bad thing about those is that they don't normally land. Currently the only monster whose haste appears to be landing like crazy is Shakti, but that might just be a glitch and he might get fixed later on. But yeah, there's nothing too special about a monster that can slow. The only time I would run slow is if it gives you like an AoE slow or like a team haste, so I don't recommend Very Speed. However, it's also a pretty cool move, cool animation. So in terms of just skills, I'm going to repeat it once again. Dad Attack, Trololo, Amaz Effects, and Falcon Punch is what I personally run, because again, I want to use Illuminati confirmed. However, Laser Cats and Group 2 is also a fine option, so you can go with any of those. And again, like, the cool thing about this monster is if you want to just have that fun factor with them, you can use Puking Rainbows, you can use all, yeah, you can just make this monster fun, really, if you don't want to make him competitive. As far as runes go, I wouldn't say there's a definite rune guide for this monster. Again, he's really interesting. It's totally possible to put off speed. However, I don't think he necessarily qualifies as a main deny monster. In terms of the thunder monsters, he is probably the only deny monster, but again, like, you call a monster a main deny monster when he has that AoE stun, that AoE freeze, that AoE possession, something that you can guarantee will deny the enemy monsters from attacking. This monster doesn't have that. This monster at best has Trololo, which can deny exactly 1 monster for 2 turns, which is really good. Again, that's like Bronte's Mega Stun. And he has Amaz Effects, which gives 2 negative effects, but for all you know, those negative effects aren't going to deny them from attacking you. So it's like a gamble to use Amaz Effects as a main deny. So what I personally love to do with monsters like this, with monsters like White Pandoff, Master Skill, monsters like ROFL, I like to use them as a secondary support monster or a secondary deny monster. So I give them 1 life rune in case that way they can take a bunch of hits, and in case my main support and my main attacker were to die, I still have this monster who is fully capable of giving negative effects to the enemies. I like to give him 1 strength rune, that way they can deal damage. And as we've seen, all his skills, with the exception of Trololo, deal damage. Specifically Falcon Punch, 60 damage is really good. He also gives them negative healing, so like there's no way to counter against ROFL, so I really like that. So I give him 1 life, I give him 1 strength, and then that way he has the high life, he has the high strength, and then I give him a team speed just to help out the rest of the team. I don't personally think he needs an individual speed, at least not at the level I'm at. But again, if all your enemy monsters are running level 10 runes, you're gonna need 1 level 10 speed rune, 1 level 10 strength rune, 1 level 10 life rune. So it really depends where you're at. However, you could also give this monster all team speed runes, and that also helps. Like, there's so many varieties you can use with him. As far as what team he works best in, again, he's a secondary deny monster, secondary support monster, whatever you want to call him. So you still need your main support, whether it be a Timeron, whether it be a Cabin Fish, a Krampus. There's so many deny monsters that take that primary spot. Then you need an attacker, whether it be Voltic, whether it be Barbatos, whether it be General Darmith, General Nishan. Like, there's so many attackers you can use too. So you have that main deny, you have that main attacker, and then you have this secondary deny monster who's there as a backup, really. That's all you really need him for. You know, Voltic can pretty much wipe out a whole team, so can Barbatos. So you basically needed this monster in case, like, the enemy monster lives, you know, you would Trololo them. You would Trololo them, for like 2 turns and they can't do anything to you. You're basically untouchable. Can you imagine a team with Timerion and Trololo? It's like stop time, 1 monster, Trololo, the other monster, take out whatever monster you didn't stop. Next turn you take out the one you stop timing, and then they still kind of attack you. Like, it's super awesome. This monster has really good synergy with a lot of monsters. Just plop them in somewhere and have fun with them, really. And yeah, that concludes my analysis on ROFL. Again, a really amazing monster, a really funny monster in my opinion. A lot of you guys wanted him. I got so many messages from him in the comments and personal messages telling me to analyze him, so there he is. And luckily I did, because he's also one of the breedable monsters, so hopefully you guys were able to breed him. I really hope so. I'm still trying to breed another one myself. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, make sure to comment below on whoever monster you want me to analyze for the following week. I always analyze the monster that gets the most votes, whoever's most popular, so click thumbs up if you agree with the comment for a monster I should analyze. And I hope you guys have an amazing Father's Day, have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you guys next Sunday for another monster analysis.